Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7 where we're going to be jumping in for a daily race C today at the 24-hour Le Mans circuit in Group 4, dominated by the Veyron. Of course the Viper does also do quite well here. The Lamborghini and the GTR also very strong contenders. So as you can see here, as we're flicking through to the weather radar, you can see we do have some rain coming in this daily race. So of course it is random. Finally PD have listened, adding dynamic weather, giving us what we wanted from the start. But better late than never, so we do have, for the very first time, dynamic weather in a daily race C. So we're going to see what we can do, see what carnage, see what chaos the weather is going to bring to this race. Starting in P7, in the Bugatti Veyron. We have a couple Bugatti Veyrons in and around us. We have a Viper up there as well. Get it stopped into this first chicane here. Going to get the run on the Bugatti up ahead, so we're going to shove it around the outside, which is then going to be the inside for the next corner. So we get that move stuck. Now we're just trying to hold on to the Russian just up ahead. We also have a Ferrari just in front of that. So you want to be really careful coming through here. There is track limit penalties everywhere and it's really incredibly easy to run wide. But now we're going to go along the main back straight with no chicanes of course for this layout. So it is just going to be a minute or two of just bump drafting all the way down this very long straight. You see they're going 3 wide there just up ahead, so the Russian thinks better of it, and then there's indicators on everywhere. Not really sure what that means, so I'm going to go around the outside. And then the Viper's flashing. I'm not really sure what that means either. So we're going to carry on bumping for now. And then he flashes again. I'm not sure what that means, so we're going to go around the outside again. I'm assuming that means he doesn't want bumping. So that's going to be us up into P3, but that's going to be temporary as they all get the slipstream beside us. So we're going to go down a couple positions here. But to be honest, with the rain coming in as it is, I would rather be out of the way. But to be honest, I'd rather be out of the way. I'm going to try and brake early, but we do get completely rammed from behind. So it's going to send us out onto the grass. We can't stop. We get it spun around as well. We're going to lose quite a few positions here. We're going to go down all the way to 14th. But there is still a possibility. We are all pretty much on slick tyres. I think there's one person who started on the inters. So everyone here is in the same boat, excuse the pun, but these slick tyres do not have a lot of traction. As you can see by the damp meter down there in the bottom left corner, we are over into intermediate territory. So we're going to brake very early going down into this very left hand. As you can see there, everybody forgetting to brake, forgetting to turn. They're going to be carrying straight on into the gravel. That's going to be 4 positions in one corner. Now we're taking it very, very cautiously, coming through these tight sections of the track. Coming through the Porsche curves as well, we're also going to be taking it very, very cautiously. As you can see there, a couple of cars coming off, that's 4 positions gained. Going to make that 5 positions, just go through the ghost here, but we're unable to get it turned in. We do clatter the wall. It's going to put us up into P5. Got Bugatti trying to go around the outside. We've got another Bugatti who just fires it up the inside. Keeps passing us. You can't obviously see that there's cars in front. We're going to have nowhere to go, so we have to back out and we're going to go into the gravel for the second time during this race. Then we're going to go all the way back down to P11. So as you can see, this race very topsy-turvy. Of course, the weather is completely random, so you're never sure what kind of race you're going to get. Could be a full wet race, as someone gets reset, they're going through the chicane. We find it very difficult to stop, but we do get the traction out of the exits. We have one spin in there, two spin in there, the Viper going very slow, and that is going to be us again up into P3. Make that P2 as the other Bugatti just drifts off into the gravel. The Porsche is also going to visit the gravel, so that's going to be us up into P1. Let's just keep it nice and calm through here. See if we can build up a bit of a gap. And make sure we don't get any penalties. That's going to be the real test. So as you can see here, we're braking incredibly early. There's still quite a lot of standing water on the circuit, so we don't want to be sliding off into the gravel like everyone else has been doing. It'll slow down really nicely for this corner. We don't want to pick up any penalties early on in the race. And we're going to fast forward now to the end of the straight, where I make a catastrophic error, forgetting there is a wet line. So we're going to clip two wheels onto that wet line. That's going to drag us all the way off, all the way into the gravel. And we're going to not lose any positions because we built up such a big gap. However, we're going to lose a lot of time. And coming down into the technical section of the track, you're going to see we're going to do exactly the same there, getting two wheels onto the wet. So we're going to be off. The Viper behind is also going to be off. We punt him into the gravel just for good measure. And we're not going to lose any positions once again, but we are going to be going off into the gravel once more, apparently. You would have thought I would have learned from my mistakes, but apparently not, as we get just completely bashed into the barrier there from the GTR. It's going to have a penalty to serve, so we're going to go straight back past. So back up into P8, but I'm sure that's not the end of it. I'm sure there's going to be even more mishaps and crashes coming into the Porsche curves here. See if we can gain a couple positions. Everyone seems to be keeping it on the track, at least for now, although they are going very slow, so we're going to catch right back up. The Lambo there just going a little bit deep. That's going to give the Viper the speed on the outside. Now we'll try and get the cutback on the Lambo here, however we don't get it quite hooked up the way I would have liked. We're going to switch off our traction control. It's pretty much a dry race now. We just have to keep off the wet stuff and we should be alright. The Lambo is still braking incredibly early. Don't need to be braking that early for a dry race. You can see we do have the GTR and the Veyron behind, so we still have to be wary of those. So we're trying to keep on to the dry stuff. Lambo there on the wet stuff, of course. The darker of the circuit is wet. We're going to try and stay on the dry stuff. Give us the best possible opportunity. Getting a really good run through that corner, so we're going to go round the outside into the inside of the Lambo. Now let's just see if we can close that gap up to the Viper up ahead. Stay in that slipstream. However, we're going to go just a little bit too aggressive there. There's no grip out here, so we're going to gain one position from the Portuguese driver. However, we are going to pick up that half-second penalty. Unfortunate, but it's what it is. So we're going to fast forward now to the end of the straight, where I brake quite early because we still want to get it stopped. We're still in the slipstream, we're still going faster than we should have been. But that is going to catch out the Lamborghini, who who completely backs off there. He's lost 1.5 seconds. We did manage to get it stopped after the punt, so luckily no penalties were dished out. And now we just have a couple drivers up ahead, the Brit and the, I'm not sure what that flag is, but the gaming YouTuber. See if we can make a move on one of these. Oh, actually one of them's got a penalty. The Brit has a penalty. I also have a penalty, but I think that was a 1.5 second penalty. As we get it completely wrong there again, just clipping that wet line. That's going to spin us into the corner. Luckily we held it. We get to serve our penalty here and not lose any positions. Although the Portuguese driver is going to catch right up. So it's going to be on our bumper by the time we get to the Porsche curves. I'm just praying and begging that he doesn't try to go for the move. It would be pretty foolish at this stage. So we're just going to hold it. It's going to hold it behind, so we can take our normal line going through these Porsche curves. Of course, we don't want to be losing out time to the Viper up ahead. Now, interestingly here, you're going to see the German in the lead there, actually coming into the pits. He was on the intermediate tyres, so not a good call for him. So he's going to lose a load of places, a load of positions. That's going to put us up into P2. We have this Ferrari right behind, and then we have a pretty good gap to the cars behind him. So it should be a three-way battle for the lead, if not a two-way battle for second place. But we're going to keep pushing, keep trying to catch up to the Viper up ahead. As well as trying to build up the gap between us and the Ferrari behind. Although we could do with a bump draft, so maybe we want to keep him with us. We'll see how it goes. Still going purple there, of course, but with the track drying out as it is. We're going to fast forward now to the last lap, where we do have, nothing's really changed. The Ferrari stayed behind us. However, going through the first chicane here, we're just going to run it a little bit too deep. That's going to give us a 0.5 second penalty. Definitely not what we wanted on the last lap. The leader's just running away with it at this point. As we get this corner all kinds of wrong, that's going to give the opportunity to the Ferrari to go up the inside. And then I cut this corner too much as well. So that's going to give us a 1 second penalty. So we have the slipstream, but it's not going to be enough. We're going to have to serve our penalty. We're going to lose that position to the Portuguese driver. But that should be it. We have 13 seconds to the guy behind, so I'm going to fast forward now to the end of the race, where we did bring home a podium position. Could have been so much more if we didn't get those stupid penalties. But I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. Pretty good racing, I'm happy with that one. If you are enjoying the content, please do leave a like and subscribe so you never miss a video. Well, that's going to do it for me. I thank you and goodbye.